I need to write down.
We are live and Lex has had a thought. I don't know if it's a sharing with the family thought or a private writing down thought.
Oh, no, I can share if you like. No, it's to do with, you know, when you said the other week that one of your targets is to get into a size 24 so that you can shop at more places.
Yeah.
And you know the dresses that I bought this week, I had to size down in them. And a lot of people have said online that they've had to size down in lots of stuff from like Boohoo and ASOS and things as well. So there's a couple that I watched. So there's Trina Louise and Riley Owen, and they're both like, well, Trina is like a size 28, 30, and then Riley Owen is like a 24, I think. And they've bought like their normal sizes and stuff, but they've been like too big on them. So I think that you could probably do like an ASOS or Boohoo. Like,
so you reckon I could cheat and be a 24 in ASOS when I'm actually still a 28 everywhere else?
Yeah.
Look.
I do. I think try it, because
that might be worth a look.
Like it's, you know, do it.
It could be worth it.
Because that is a nice little like boost when you're like, oh yeah, I'm in a, you know, great.
Yeah.
You did inspire me though, Lex. I have to admit, I've ordered a God Save the Queen t-shirt dress. It'll probably be a nice piece, in all fairness, rather than external wear, but I just had to have it. So I've actually made my first ever order from Boohoo, because I've never bought for them in my life.
Yay.
I got some jeans as well, skinny jeans.
Lovely.
So we'll see.
Let me say some good mornings to the chat, and then I'll explain why we've got the lovely Heather with us this morning. Not that she needs any explanation, because she should be with us constantly. In the chat this morning, we've got Joan Morris, who wants to go out and play in the snow, but has been waiting for us instead. Bless her. I said I'd go out if I were you. Deb Hughes, Diane Cross, Jackie Egerton, Gillian Holbrook, Sandy Beach, Mama Tins, Laura Eccleston-Seaboard, Jackie Funstuff, blah, 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 Jason Entwistle, Sandy Beach. Have I said Sandy Beach twice? So good I said her twice. Nicola Giddings, Becca Fiduke, Chris Tyler, Paper and Twine. Hi, Ashley. I've said Chris, Lynn Clapson, Fandria, Julie Haynes, Ms. Q, Lisa Marshall, Lisa Count Juan, Ashley Carruthers, Ashley Count 2. We're getting an Ashley crew going on. Janet Vincent, Babs the Attic Baker's Yard. That's a brilliant name. It sounds like something out of what's that card game? Happy Families. Babs the Attic Baker's Yard, and Mrs. Bab, Mrs. Bunderbutt, yeah. Mandy Moo, Jane Friel, Dawn Cherie Paul, Captain Opshop. No, that's Turdy. Turdy, I'm sorry, that's not Turdy. That's Toby.
That's a new name.
Apologies, Toby. I'm not quite 100% this morning. That I think Nerd got mixed up with Toby and came out as Turdy. Sorry, Toby. And Pennicott, who says, good morning, Carla. Borda Alex, and good morning, Heather. Pamela Baker, Mrs. B. Again, we've got Mrs. B, we've got Ms. Q. It's starting to feel a bit like Cluedo, isn't it?
Very.
In the dining room with the spatula.
Yeah. Kelly Flipping Fantastic Finds. Hi, Kelly. Lisa J, Lisa Count 2, Jilly Button, Tasty, Gina May, Claire Plant, Claire Count Juan, Ollie Pels, who is almost at 400 subscribers. Ollie, you've got to stop obsessing, mate. Jane Wathan, Shirley Boland, Laurel D, Giggle Giggles, that's a new name I haven't seen before, Yvonne Downing, Lisa Louise, Lisa Count 2. If I missed you and it matters to you and you want to shout out, then type in the chat in capital letters, you missed me, and I'll shout you out. Good morning, Angie, and good morning, Claire Borden. We have got, but I missed Lex. Good morning, Lex.
Hi.
Toby says, I did have a fine young Spanish girl who couldn't speak English try to say my name and called me toilet once. I said, you think you've beaten that. Sorry, Turdy. Ms. Q's name is Tracy. We have got, as always, the beautiful Lex, and we've also, for Double Trouble this morning, got the beautiful Heather. And the reason I have called in reinforcements is because I am not 100% this morning. So if I fade out, Lex won't be stood there trying to hold the show on her own.
Because I just can't, because I would literally just go,
you do your goldfish impression, don't you? When I go, Lex, over to you, you're like...
I genuinely, it's because I just forget, like, all words.
Forget how to speak. Good morning, Cassie. I didn't miss you on purpose. You know I didn't. Morning, Lee.
And Mike Bando.
Mike Dander, is he there? Good morning, Mike. Oh, there he is. See, even you missed me to go on screen. Good morning, Mike. It's snowy where Mike is. I've got snow too. I don't want it. I've been trying to give it to Heather. Heather wants some and she hasn't got any.
I've had hail, a small amount of hail, which was quite a surprise. But I want snow, and I'm going to sulk if I don't get it.
Are you going to tantrum, like proper lie on the floor and kick and?
No, I'm too lazy.
I like a good tantrum.
I'm quite tempted to go and do Snow Angel.
Oh.
My friend Emma did a classic tantrum in Asda once because I dared her, because I told her I didn't think she would, and so she did, because that's the kind of relationship we had. So yeah, proper lying on the floor, kicking and screaming, going, "It's not fair, I want it." It was brilliant. She's only 42 at the time, or something like that, you know.
Fabulous.
my nephews used to pretend to do that, and like, you know, and then my nephew Thomas, he's so evil that one time, so like Steve, like his dad, goes like, come on, like you're getting embarrassing now, like come on, go to like grab him and take him out the shop. And Tom's there on the floor, like laughing his head off, but going, "Stop hitting me, Dad! Stop hitting me!" And Steve says, "They go, no, I'm not. Honestly, he's fine. He's such a brother, is Tom. Hilarious.
That's like Natalie popping on a live stream in the early days, going, "She beats me." Well, she doesn't, but she's gonna. Cassie said they've got snow again, and she will send out to people in bubble bags for postage cost only. Anthony's snowballing my window. Snowballing my window, I'm running away.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do the doggies like the snow?
Well, they've been out for a walk and played in it this morning, but I think Buddy in particular is glad to be in again.
Well, yeah, he's lower, he's closer to it, isn't he?
He does this funny snow walk, sort of. Yeah.
I was flung.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if it was a bright as well, but your amber now.
Does it look like an owl?
Oh.
What does it look like instead? Does it look like a vagina?
I'm guessing a penis.
Maybe it's a penis. I haven't seen it.
Penis. Oh, thanks for that one. Maybe, yeah, just lower the saturation, perhaps.
Giggle said you should all go visit Kate in Northumberland. She has a YouTube site, The Last Homely House East of the Sea. That's a brilliant name.
Wow.
That sounds cool.
Morning, Vicky.
I am quite tempted sometimes to like throw Azumi out into the snow and do the back in, but I wouldn't do that. I've done that to her once, and she like scratched my eyes out. You know, I won't do it again.
Good morning, Tony and PVP and Pamela Barker.
That's what lockdown will do for you.
It's definitely been a week of it this week. I've felt that this week for sure. Just a total. I had a wobble this week, definitely.
Yeah, me. It's wearing a bit thin now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's wearing a bit fucking thin now.
I think it's that end of January thing where once we get into February, people are going to realise that you know, it all changes and it all gets a bit better. But just right now, it is always quite a dark time.
Yeah. But I have seen snowdrops already, and I've seen the daffodils are coming up. So that gives me positivity. It makes me feel that better weather is coming. Spring is coming. I know it's a while yet, but.
And you say that when there's like blooming snow on the ground, it's like it couldn't get much colder right now, much more wintry right now. But that's snow. Snow is when it starts to get like, you know, when people say it's too cold for snow, and that's kind of true, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those things. Is that right? What temperatures it have to be for snow? I'm never quite sure whether that's bullshit or whether that's actually correct that it's too cold for snow, because it's bloody freezing in the Antarctic, and they've got a lot of the stuff there.
If it's too cold, then there's no clouds in the sky to produce snow.
To precipitate.
In it.
That one, yeah.
So there has to be a certain temperature for there to be snow in the sky.
I'm trying to click on that. It went. Nadine says, "Remember when this all started? And we all said, imagine lockdown if we had it in winter." Yeah, well.
We knew it was going to happen because viruses love the cold.
Go to bed, PvP.
And this
right now, it's bedtime.
Is lasting, you know, a long time.
Yeah.
Yes, that is making me happier as well, Stall. The fact that I haven't got to walk the dogs at 4 o'clock otherwise it's dark. So it's the little things, isn't it? Find the little things.
Oh, when it does start to properly get, you know, like oh, it's the first time we could actually sit outside for a cup of coffee in the morning. Like, oh, I can't wait for that. And then the day that I go like, right, I'm going to clear out the garage. Ooh, that one. And yeah. And Mum goes like, okay, first day in the garden, first mow of the lawn and stuff.
Snow moon, yes, Dawn.
I don't know what the snow moon is. Can somebody elaborate?
It's one of the first full moons.
Okay.
So it's just a marker. We call it. We celebrate a thing called Imbolc, which is usually right bang at the end of January, beginning of February, and that's when everything starts to turn and really change. When you start to notice that spring is definitely coming and it's all turning that way.
Yay!
So cause for celebration.
I'm not a winter person, I have to say. Ashley says, my mum had to go for a CT scan this week, and whilst reading the paper, it said, oh, well done, Carla, to me. Turns out you can now go on a CT scan as you're under 24. Well, that'd be something to look forward to.
Maybe you should. For a laugh, yeah, treat yourself. Nice day out, go for a CT.
Makes you wonder what they do with, I mean, I was 27 stone, which obviously is vast, but there are people who are bigger. What happens if they need a CT scan? Can they simply not have one? If the scanner only goes up to 24 stone, what happens to people who need one who are bigger?
I think there's alternatives like ultrasounds and stuff that are obviously not as reliable. They don't show you as much.
I think it's physically fitting someone in the machine, isn't it? Because the machine goes round the person in the CT. If you've ever had one, they're very noisy and horrible. But they're literally like going into a tube.
Is that the tube that kind of goes along you? Is that the CT scan? Yeah.
Yeah. So if your circumference is,
then you'll get stuck in the tube. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a scenario that everyone wants to have. Yeah.
Cracky Crack, which is a great name because crack is quite Moorish, has just smoked their pain meds.
Okay.
I feel like they may be getting different prescription medication to what we get.
Yeah, but I'm up for sharing. Like we can be swapsies.
Yeah,
crack is Moorish. I was gonna. Where's it gone? Shirley Boland says you have snow, and I had 42 degrees Celsius today. Way too hot, and she's in Newcastle. That's mental, isn't it?
I can't remember where Shirley is. Shirley, are you in California? Where's Shirley? Is she Australia? I forget who's where. PVP is California. No, Canada. Oh, God, I know nothing, and I don't even know if Japan's in the Euro or not, so we probably shouldn't listen to
Well, they're not in the Euro, and they're not in the Eurovision Song Contest either, so that's kind of how I do it. But then...
Yeah, but that's not infallible, because lots of people are in the Eurovision Song Contest who aren't in Europe.
No,
Shirley's in Australia.
Yes.
Morning, Morning, Crispy.
Stephen is asking what's the difference between an MRI and a CT. It's the letters.
Yeah, they're spelt differently.
Yeah.
Morning, Antoinette. Antoinette, your parcel is ready to go. I just haven't actually got it out of the house yet, but it is packed and ready to go. Hi, Bexify. Intelligent zombie, that's Joe, isn't it? My brain this morning. I had to cover an MRI scan because I had a cancerous womb thing tumour, and they said I was too big for it, but it was the tumour that was massive. It was £7. Ouchie.
Wow. That's like a baby. Wow.
Yeah.
I've got one, but mine's not cancerous. It's just...
Yours is just an unwanted tenant, isn't it?
It's just a big
squatter.
A squatter, yeah.
Yeah, it's not paying rent.
I know, the bastard. I would like to see it though. Is it too weird to not ask for it to bring home, but go like, can you take my phone and film it for me? Like, what, is that is weird, isn't it? They won't do it.
I understand the curiosity because you want to know what it is that's been living inside you all these years, and kind of it gives you a chance to go, yeah, you're gone now, you bastard.
They will probably take a photograph of it for you if you ask. I don't think they'll video it, but they'll probably show you a photograph of what they've removed.
I do want to see it, definitely.
You definitely have apparently put up an amber penis on Etsy or eBay or somewhere.
Oh dear, better check that one out. Look like a phallic symbol.
It's definitely just an owl.
I want to go and have a look now.
I'll find it now.
Joan wants to know if you've got another date yet for surgery.
I do. Okay, it does look a bit penisy.
Show me. Oh.
It looks exceedingly penisy.
Yeah, I see what they mean.
Like a chode. It looks like a chode.
Maybe I'll just change the front picture to like a sideways on one or something.
Yeah, because penises look completely different from the side.
The owl looks different from it. Looks more owly.
Yeah, a bit more detail.
Yeah. So maybe I'll do that one. But there we are. Yes, are you? Carla's having contractions.
I'm having my stomach trouble again, and it really is coming in waves of pain like contractions. If you're wondering why, like I said, this is why we brought Heather in to swell the ranks in case I was absolutely useless.
What's that? Lainey's having dreams about Kirsten, which that sounds a bit kinky. And lots of stuff, including an auction on YouTube of old stock. I genuinely think that Kirsten should do that.
I genuinely think that Lainey should go around making people do stuff.
And Lainey should dream about me as well.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Hi, Nat.
Hi, Nat.
What are you having for breakfast?
She said, "What are you having for breakfast?" McDonald's.
Yeah, but what one? What are you having? Okay,
she will have a sausage muffin with no egg.
Sausage muffin, no egg, yeah. Does she double sausage?
Yeah. She does double sausage. I believe she can only fit one sausage in.
Lightweight. I always double sausage.
Sure. Not that I'm aware of, Stall, although I'm going to check some ingredients in something I had that was pre-made and see if there's a correlation there.
Mm.
But I certainly wasn't aware that I'd had them.
There you go. I'm just saying no onion, no garlic, no mushrooms, except oyster ones. There we go.
It's not reflux. I've not got the. It's not here. It's much lower down. It's pelvic pain, and it very much feels like labour pains. It really does. But it's connected to some bowel trouble and whatever. Let's not dig too deep. Terrible choice of words.
Work it out with a pencil.
That's what accountants do. Work out with a pencil.
Yeah.
Heather has a wonderful channel. She is Heather the Treasure Pirate, and somebody will put the link in the chat because the people in the chat are wonderful. So I just know that one of them will dash off and find you the link.
Yeah, it's just the Treasure Pirate. So I'm out there with a few random videos.
There we go. Ashley's put the link in. I knew somebody would.
And the tasty haul as well. Like, oh my god, I miss haul videos. There was one point where it was, everyone was doing like clothing hauls and stuff, and you're like, oh my god, everyone's got bloody clothes and things. And now I'm just like, oh, I'm dying for a clothing haul. Any haul, anything. Here's I've got loads of spatulas. Let me show you my spatulas. Like anything.
Well, that's the thing. I'm watching all the American ones, just the jewellery hauls and stuff, just because Lexx hasn't got any jewellery to show me right now. But I have it on the background while I'm working. But it's just having something going on. But yeah, I was delighted to get a haul. Hopefully, I'll get another one in the next couple of weeks. But that's the contact. That's not, it's sporadic. She has to contact me and let me know that she's got stuff for me, and then I can go and socially distance and pick through an awful lot of black sacks. That's what happens. But I don't know what I'd do without it, because it's fun, and I've done a whole huge bag of stuff for my sister that I need to organise to go in the post, because it's massive, and she needs some stock, and I'm just basically sending it to her as a here you go, make some money from that kind of thing.
That's fab. I definitely miss looking for things like that. I'm having my mum's I'm having Oxford Java Friday. I'm 74. Yeah, I don't. We would. My mum was saying this yesterday. She's got a date for hers, and some of her friends who are older than her are not haven't had dates for theirs yet. And then there's and I was like, it's probably because she was like, oh, maybe it's because my surname begins with a C, that I'm like, you know, sooner on the list. It's like, I don't think there's any, they're not going alphabetical. I think it's some other system that we have no idea, like, how they're doing it, you know.
I think it depends on the doctor's surgeries as well. My stepmother had hers last weekend, had her first jab, but then she's 83. But yeah, it seems to be quite random because a lot of her friends haven't had it yet.
Yeah.
My mum was rung up and offered it, but she's declined it for now. She's a bit unsure about it. But also with the broken wrist and everything, she said, I've got enough going on. She said, if the jab makes me unwell, because you may have some unwellness, not because I'm saying the immunization is a bad idea, but some people, when you have any kind of vaccination, you can have a couple of days when you're not well. And mum can't face that at the moment with the broken wrist as well. So she's declined for now, but I think she's going to reconsider maybe, you know, a few weeks down the line, maybe when the cast is off and things are a bit more. Yeah. You want to be feeling in good health before you jump in and have it, I reckon.
Yeah, like Joan says, it's different surgeries working through the rota for their own surgeries. And I think even within that, and like Julie says, like, you know, obviously it's the, I can't think of the word. Anyway, like those that are shielding and things like that. So vulnerable. But like even within like vulnerable groups, like say there's her book group, and they're all ladies of a certain age, pretty much, aren't they, Mum?
Yeah.
And you're not decrepit, Mum. But like, so and some people have had it, some people haven't had a date, some people are waiting, some people have had all sorts of illnesses.
Linda and John.
Yeah. So Linda and John, so they're my mum's best friends. So one's got a date and one hasn't, and they're both at the same place, and they're 6 months age difference between them. Obviously same surname, but one has got a date and one hasn't. It's completely like, who knows? But I want the Oxford AstraZeneca one because I think it sounds the coolest.
Sounds more Star Trek than the other one.
It does. It's called like AstraZeneca. Like, I like Zeneca. It's so cool. It's like, yeah, this is the future. Oxford AstraZeneca. Yeah.
Oh.
I love when I go in.
Yeah, Mum's like, I'll have all of them. As long as I can go to home base.
Fill me up.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know if this could be classed as IBS because it's 7 weeks since I last had any trouble. Surely people with IBS have more frequent issues, don't they?
Mum says it comes in bouts.
And it tends to be quite stress related as well. There's certainly a factor in it.
Yeah. It is. But they're things.
Debs, it is so long since I set up my eBay business account that I would not remember how to do it, what I did. It's years. I mean, I've been a business on eBay probably for 15 years or something like that. So I wouldn't know where to begin, and because it's been so long, I don't remember the pros and cons of being a personal seller as well. I do know that if you are buying to resell, you need to register as a business with HMRC. eBay don't insist that you do that, but you are obliged to display your return details if you are buying to resell. So as you can tell, not the person who should be doing this, because I'm sitting there going, and I'm only halfway through the sentence. So,
I genuinely think that if you are a business seller, as in you are buying to resell, you should be a business proper, and that's it. So you should be registered with HMRC, pay your tax like I did yesterday and went ouch as I kicked the button.
Me too.
You know,
Thousands of months.
Yeah, but you should do it, and you should have all the business details and everything like you should have, because you are considering yourself a business, so you should. And I know lots of people will disagree with it and go like, oh, but you know, eBay take the piss and they charge all their fees and stuff. Yeah, they do, because they're a business also, and yes, they charge a lot, but you know, it's also one of the world's biggest platforms to sell on as well. And you can throw your toys out the pram and go like, well, I don't like that you're charging me how much for this. It's like, yeah, but if you do it right, you can make a living on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heather will have to have a voice off.
Well, you've got the best accent for sure, or one of the better accents for sure.
Arr. Oh, you got a
I
farmer's
like
accent.
Bristol accent. It's brilliant, and I like Welsh accents. I like all accents. I just think mine's boring because I don't think I've got one. But there you go.
You sound quite received pronunciation. You sound like you could be doing the BBC weather reports.
God, no.
The shipping forecast.
Shipping forecast. I tell you
that's
what,
cool.
that is like there is on YouTube somewhere. No, I think it might be on BBC iPlayer where it's like constant shipping forecast. Like
There's an African American one or Caribbean
one.
Oh,
Caribbean granddad doing the shipping forecast
Oh,
in the storm. That would be the best.
He's got a wonderful
Oh.
accent. I love
But no,
his-
you can listen to like 24 hours of just shipping forecast, and then they play like really soft music behind it. It's like, oh my god, it's like it's a podcast. No, it's a podcast on BBC iPlayer on Sounds. That's what it is.
That'd be my other title of Heather the Weather, wouldn't it?
I think it's just you, Jilly. You could try going out and coming back in and seeing if that restarts. That's you know. Have you tried switching it off and on again? That's all I've got.
I remember driving home from rituals at 4 in the morning, having the shipping forecast on, having to open the windows and kind of hang my head out just to keep awake. So soporific.
Apparently, mine's just all around sexy. So, thanks. I always do that when I go like.
You do, and people will start saying, "Stop putting yourself down." If you do that.
Someone did say that yesterday, and I was like, I don't think I was putting myself down. I'm not. Like, I'm not. I'm all right. You know. Yeah. It's I know it's self-deprecating, but we're British, and this is what we do.
Humour in everything.
Yeah, exactly. Finding the humour in it. Yeah.
Morning, Be Lucky. Morning, Hannah.
Dogger Bank, that's my favourite. And Up the Time for Tranquility. There's a song by Blur as well, which is just about the shipping forecast, and it's lovely.
Oh.
It's one of the most relaxing things. I think it's partially because I haven't got a clue what they're going on about.
And
You know,
and the music that precedes it called Sailing Down.
that's not relaxing, Mother.
It is when you
No.
listen to it.
Yeah, not when you sing it.
No.
Shirley, I don't know what it's like in Australia, but getting to see a doctor here is absolutely impossible at the moment. If I'm lucky, I might get a telephone consultation where they go, "Oh, that sounds nasty."
Do aspirin to me in the morning.
Yeah, you can't get near a doctor at the moment to save your life.
Maybe you should book for one though, and you know, and just see what they say.
I'm pretty sure what they'll say is take some paracetamol and try to avoid eating whatever it is that triggers it. And I'll be like,
Probably, yeah.
done that.
Statement of the bleeding obvious.
Yeah.
But but the reason you do that though is so that when you ring them again next time, they know that this isn't the first time that you've had that problem.
Yeah.
You've got a record of it being a persistent thing, so they're more likely to see you.
My muffin's gone cold.
Oh, cool. What's in yours?
Just egg and cheese.
Egg and cheese? No bacon.
No, I'm trying to pull back the calories. I wasn't going to have it at all, but then I thought if I just have egg and cheese, it's a lot less calories. So.
I've got one of my special breads and 2 sausages that I found in the freezer. Today is find some food in the fridge and freezer day.
Ferret day.
Which is one of my favourites. I like leftover day. So Mum's gonna have curry from yesterday, but I ate all my curry yesterday because it was too nice. So I don't have any leftovers to eat today. So I found 2 sausages in the freezer and a slice of low carb corned beef.
Sorry.
So that's what I'm gonna have. Night.
PvP.
Yay. And the safeguarding bingo doctor.
You got your paws in the wrong place. Doctors is impossible. I had a right mess on at work and threatened a safeguarding. Bingo, doctor turns up.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. I was like, that sounds like a not very fun game.
Not a bingo doctor.
That gave me a whole different image.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Claire. Bear with. I've completely forgotten.
Oh gosh. Yes.
Shall we all say vagina in the background?
Anthony says that, but the other one, the shorter version, and I have to keep editing him out all the time.
Edit.
Sunday breakfast is an egg and cheese muffin from McDonald's. I had a hash brown, which I've already eaten. I will put the calories on the screen. And all of you in the chat,
Carla likes a good muffin.
there we go.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so that's what I'm having today. And we're running out of veg. We've only got a cauliflower, half a pack of green beans. Oh, we've got freezer veg.
Yeah.
Cabbage.
See, Heather called it ferret. We call it if it's. What you have for dinner, if it's there, you're having it.
Ferret for dinner. Yeah.
Chop Chop Busy Bee at Bang calls it Zanussi surprise.
Throw everything in. That's what Mum did the other day. She pulled something out of the freezer and she thought it was a stew. But bonus, it ended up being curry. Like, whee!
Because you don't always know, do you?
It's good. You microwave and go, oh, that smells a bit spicy. How delightful.
I really should label.
Can I show you my chairs? Can I show you? I'm happy with the chairs I bought the other day.
They're finally loaded.
Oh, nice.
G-Plan.
Tell people about your chairs rather than just showing them. Otherwise,
Well,
you'll know what we
yes,
do.
I had this odd thing where I probably told the story many years ago. I bought a lot of chairs. In fact, I thought I was buying 24 and I ended up with about 42. It was one of my earliest days. I started off in furniture with eBay, and this was back in about 2014, 15, something like that. And I sold them off in lots of 4, 6 and 8, and I had people coming from London for them because they were a particular style. They were very like a Jonathan Adler chair with faux bamboo kind of crisscross across the back, very Regency glamorous, at the beginning of the mid-century modern sort of movement. And yeah, so my house is not big, but it had a lot of chairs, and I sold them all and kept 8 for myself because, as you do. Then randomly I get an email out of the blue last week saying, I know it's a long shot, I bought some chairs off you a few years ago, wondered if you had any more. And I'm thinking, okay. And she said, oh, it's these ones, and showed me a picture. I said, well, I have got some. I mean, I kept some for myself. You know, what were you thinking? Would you like a set of 8 chairs? And she said, yes, I'll give you £600 for them. Right. I'm trading my chairs.
So to the lady with the £600.
Exactly. And lots of money, which is lovely. So basically, I've got to wait for her to come and collect those. But I thought, well, I've got to get myself some more chairs now because I've got no chairs. So that's why I bought these ones off a lovely local lady called Faye, who does sell on eBay. And her business, she started off in clothes and now she sells furniture. She restores it, she gives it all the teak oil and re-upholsters, which is what those chairs had done. So they're absolutely gorgeous condition. And I paid $250 for those, so I'm in profit. And then I realised that, of course, the chairs don't really go with the table that I've got. So she's got a table that I bought as well. And the table is also G-Plan. It's a bit trendy, but hey-ho. Hang on, let me get it up.
Morning, Aid. You're early today, as in not as late as usual.
And then I bought this.
Nice.
Oh,
How much was that?
£80.
So sold chairs for 600, bought new chairs for 250, bought table for 80, making 330. So still in profit to the tune of 270 with one table to sell.
Yes.
Winning at life, Heather. Winning at
That
life.
was a winning at life. The lovely thing about this particular table, as hubby pointed out, because I wasn't sure, is that the legs are kind of in the middle, so you can sit lots of people around and nobody gets a leg, because it's a real problem in our household because we all have plenty of legs between.
You have many legs between you. You have an above average amount of legs.
Certainly in length of leg, and particularly hubby and son. So that all worked out rather nicely.
The average is about
1.75 is the average amount of legs per person.
That's a confusing
Probably is
thing.
actually when you take into account amputees and yeah.
So we
Yeah.
average and above. I'm above average.
Well, me too. I was thinking more length rather than number of, but yes.
You also have much leggage. Yes.
Yeah, my son's legs are way longer than mine, and my husband's legs are longer than mine. So, so stick them all under a table. It's like a meeting spiders.
Back with us.
Yay!
Christine Davies has been in hospital with COVID, and as we said, she came out, and Graham went in because they're like that. They're like that weather vane thing where, yeah. I don't know whether Graham's out or not because I haven't been on Facebook for the last couple of days. But either way, I do hope he's doing well, Christine, and it's lovely to have you back with us. And I hope Graham is up and about soon.
They are ships that pass in the night, isn't it?
Yeah, you remember those little weather forecast things where either the little man came out or the little woman came out, and
like in the cuckoo clock type thing.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
And they do a little dance, and
yes, yeah.
They have that in Prague, don't they? The big clock on the main.
Yes. I've seen that somewhere. I can't remember where it is now.
I've seen it in person, but I was a little bit drunk.
There's one of the airports.
Amsterdam, then.
Oh no, that I was something else in Amsterdam.
Weren't we all?
In Amsterdam, I was in a shop going like this, but the floor is moving though, isn't it? And the girl's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, no, it's because it was over water. And I was like, no, you can feel it. Like it's just slightly moving. Like, no, it's really not. I'm like,
it's like a sprung dance floor in a ballroom. Some people can feel it and some people can't.
That's exactly what I was like. I was like, it's we can go. He's like, no, it's not. Like, we'll come. I was determined. I was like, look, I'm not even like high or anything. Come back tomorrow. I'm going to prove to you. And then we went back, and the floor was completely solid. And I was like, oh,
yeah. That is good news, Christine. Give him all our love and tell him we hope he's home soon.
Yay.
Yeah, Fandria says she had a positive COVID test on Monday, but no symptoms or anything. My next door neighbour was the same. Positive COVID test, meaning he had to stay off work and isolate, and sat in his house twiddling his thumbs, going, "I."
That was my nephew. My nephew caught it. He thinks possibly from rugby training, possibly. But I mean, he's a student and also works in a bar and stuff, so it could have been from anywhere really. But the only symptom he had. And the only reason he noticed is because he got offered like a really strong coffee or something like that, something that he doesn't normally have, and it was palatable. And that was it was like, oh, this doesn't smell as awful as it normally does. And that was it. And he was perfectly fine, but obviously couldn't do anything, go anywhere, couldn't have his training, couldn't go to the gym and stuff. Only symptom he had. But most people are asymptomatic, aren't they? Apparently.
Thank you, that grumpet boy.
Cool logo, then.
Why? Ah, poor Carlington. How many painkillers have you had today?
Well, I had 2 paracetamol at about 6 o'clock, so I'm due for some more in a minute.
Yeah.
Is anyone else sporadic? Do you know what? I once thought that I invented the word sporadic, and apparently
Julie was having trouble with her chat, Karis, so maybe there is something going on with YouTube this morning. Julie said hers was repeating. Oh, Kelly's off. Bye, Kelly.
Bye, Kelly. Have a nice day.
I think she's off to fling her boobs around on the trampoline.
Oh, I hope so. we need to show her how to do slow motion so that she can do. Go, Kelly.
Morning, Jane.
Hi, Jane. Good.
So has anybody got anything at all of any interest planned for the next week?
No.
Oh, that was brief.
Well, but it's true though, isn't it? I am walking to the pharmacist tomorrow to pick up my medication. I was going to have, I might still have a little walk around town, but so many more shops are closing in Bridgend now. Superdrug have closed. Holland and Barrett are closing forever. I think, yeah, on a Bridgend is going to be an absolute waste ground soon. They might as well just knock it down and make it into a big car park. Like there's literally there's nothing left, you know. We will just be left with Poundland, and that's it. Ah, yay.
If you haven't yet subscribed to Ashley at Paper and Twine, she sent me a little package of goodies this week. And if you are into paper crafts and like watching people make stuff and learning new skills, then you really should go and subscribe to her channel. These are already in the waffle, so I'll only cover them briefly because you'll see them in the waffle. But she sent me a gorgeous little watercolor. This is made out of paper and card, and then it's got a nail file in it. And then a lovely little notepad, again, in the same design. I presume she's done this herself. I don't know how because I'm not clever enough. But and then look at this. I need to get closer to the camera. Bear with.
Oh, so you're going to do it properly. I broke mine.
I'm behind on vlogs, aren't I? I didn't see that you had one. What did you do?
I undid the knot, and you.
No, you have to pull the knot, and it makes this card pop out.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I just undid the knot and pulled it out.
You put instructions on there as well. How did you get it wrong?
Because just in my head, you undo knots. And also, like I don't tend to read instructions that much. I just kind of go like, oh, what does this do? Oh shit.
I think it's wonderful, and like I said, if you like crafty stuff, then you should definitely rush off and subscribe. She's also got really nice handwriting as well, look. And you should definitely dash off and subscribe to Paper and Twine so that you can A, see what she's done so far, and B, encourage her to do more, and maybe C, learn a new skill.
Mm-hmm.
It's snowing.
Heather's got snow.
Yay. Heather the weather, you've done it.
There's little bits of it. It's beautiful. I love snow. I'm such a big kid. That's going to be fun going up the garage later today to pick up my stock. But it's pretty. It's so pretty.
B-Max, I don't remember. I never know which is which. All I remember is that one of them is a doing word, and I still don't know which one is the doing word. All I remember in my head is a so-and-so is a doing word, but I don't know which one.
Noun is a naming word, like red,
Right?
Yeah. Isn't it? And that's all I know.
Yeah.
Now, an adjective is a doing word. Perhaps an adjective is a doing word.
A verb is a doing word.
Is it?
Yeah. So I go. That's it.
I wonder if there's something. Have you already Googled? I think you already have.
No idea.
When my son was quite young, I had a big book that kind of explained, because they learned grammar in much more detail than we never did. You know, they literally know what a subjunctive whatever is. It's just ridiculous. But I found this big book that I had that had all these pull-out sections. My son absolutely loved it. He'd hate it now, of course, but.
There's a poem here. I found a poem to help you remember it.
Okay.
Okay. Every name is called a noun, like field or fountain, street or town. In place of noun, the pronoun stands as he and she can clap their hands. An adjective describes something like magic wand or bridal ring. A verb means action, something done, to read, to write, to jump and run. A preposition shows relation, as in the church or at the station. How things are done, the adverbs tell, like quickly, slowly, badly, well. Conjunctions join in many ways, sentence, word or phrase or phrase. An interjection cries out, hark! You need an exclamation mark. There you go. There is a poem. And all I did was Google how to remember nouns. And so there you go. Find that and maybe get them to learn the poem.
Okay, but what is a split infinitive?
To boldly go. That's a split infinitive. You put boldly in between to go. That's a split infinitive. Okay. A lot of people get their knickers in a twist about that. I personally couldn't give the monkeys.
I will look for some Buscapin. People who are advising Buscapin, I will definitely look for some.
Yeah, that's meant to stop the cramp.
Toby's never seen snow.
Aww.
I can show you a picture of snow, but I expect you've seen a picture of snow.
I like his logo. He's a little pirate boy.
Picture of snow. Sure, he's seen. I could send you some, Toby. If I sent him some in a little glass jar and then he put it in his freezer when it arrived. No, it still wouldn't be snow. It still wouldn't be snow. It'd be ice. This is the problem with snow. It's not really postable.
No.
It doesn't really show up on the camera. It's not big snow. It's pathetic snow.
Sun's out now and it's all melting. You can see the it's like sliding off the roofs and stuff. It'll be gone in about an hour or so. So I'm gonna have a trudge. My boots are good for trudging in snow, by the way.
Stomping.
Ones, yeah. They're proper. It's like, oh, a nice crunch, crunch, crunch.
We used to call those beetle crushers back in the day. Stompy boots. Oh, that's a side hustle. Selling snow.
The small profit. There's no problem sending white powder through the post. Absolutely not.
No, of course not.
I agree with you, Max. If there's any teachers in the chat, why does this matter exactly? But I don't know. We all say like, you know, oh, did we haven't used trigonometry since school and things like that, and that's true. Very rarely use trigonometry, and it would be more useful to learn things like accounts and stuff like that. However, it's just it's more about exercising your brain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well. And that. And because we kind of should know these things, we just should know how our language is formed. Oh, I did watch, and might be interesting for older kids, but there is a Nicolas Cage series on Netflix about swear words, which is quite fun. Maybe don't give them, you know, the F and C word ones. Actually, they haven't done the C word yet, but maybe don't give them to watch. But there's one about like damn and things like that maybe they could watch, and it's funny, and it does tell you some of the quite interesting history of like where words come from and things.
Alex would absolutely love that. I've made a note because he does use a fair amount of the swear words now because he's 14 and they sort of do, but they don't really understand the meaning behind some of them. It's kind of like, well, you know, look it up, you know. But that sounds entertaining and informative.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, they do like, obviously is the first one, and there's also like pussy and dick and damn. I think there's 6 of them. I can't remember all 6, but like they're just quite interesting to see where, you know, where it all comes from. And some of them, you know, are quite obvious where they've come from. And then like the damn one I thought was quite interesting because they started off with is it Casablanca? You know, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Is it Casablanca?
No, Scarlett O'Hara.
Yeah.
One with the Wind.
One with the Wind. Yeah. That like right at the beginning of like film, like you know, when they had like the first censorship of films and stuff like that, when they had to bring in this Hays Code, I think it's called the Hays Code, that the word damn was really, really offensive, but they managed to convince Mr. Hays himself with a bit of cash to allow damn to be in the film because it was in the book. So they kind of found a loophole to do it because it was culturally important. I just thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good series. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Oh wow, I have to watch that one. We're all running out of things to watch, really, aren't we? After all this time.
Oh yeah, I finished Netflix. You know.
All of it.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah. No, I'm working my way through The American Office, which I haven't seen all of, and then another series about, is it called Superstore or something? And it's just about a supermarket in America. Like
I saw that last night when I was flicking through Netflix, but didn't watch it. Is it good?
I wouldn't say it's good. It's all right. It'll do. It's completely brainless. Like, just it's sort of like The Office in a supermarket. Not quite as on the nose, but it's all right. It's, you know, it's just light entertainment, isn't it? It's brainless entertainment.
Because we had a English version of something like that with Jason Watkins in, didn't we? Is it the same one of the Americans bought it and remade it, or is it a different one?
Like Trolleyed, was that it?
Yeah, Trolleyed, that was it. Yeah.
I don't know because I'd never seen Trolleyed. But the same, I guess, in the same kind of concept then. Yeah. Yeah, like Store says, like it's fluff. You know, yeah. It's all right. It passes the time, you know.
We watched Black Panther last night. movie of the week. It was very good. Lots of effects, bit over the top, but quite cool. Good acting. Yeah.
No, I'm okay, Claire. I'm okay. That's why I've got these guys here to carry the show.
Oh, Donna just says that she enjoyed Back to Life. That was really good. It's a proper good. It's dark. So it's a drama with some dark humor in it. I wouldn't say it was like a dark comedy because it's definitely more dark than that. I really enjoyed that one. It's from the producer of Fleabag as well, and it's written by two female comedians, and it's just awesome. Yeah, Black Books is one of my all-time favorite TV series.
I would go so far, Caris, as to say that if you are patriotic, you don't want to watch The Crown, because if you are particularly patriotic and you love the royal family, you will not enjoy The Crown because it is too intrusive. Yeah. However, as a drama, I believe it is very good.
Yeah.
None of them come out of it being particularly likable.
I think it is important to remember.
Glory, do they?
Yeah. Oh, no, basically, like from the first series, you're like, Prince Philip is a twat. I mean, we know that anyway, but yes. But it was like Prince Philip is a twat and he's a Nazi. Like,
so I think it's important to remember that this is a drama that is written about real people who are still alive.
Yeah.
And pries into what should be their own personal private business and isn't their own personal private business because of the family they were born into, which was not their fault or their choice. And I wouldn't say I'm royalist, which is perhaps not the same thing as patriotic. I wouldn't say I'm royalist, but I do feel that the royal family get a lot of flack for the sheer fault of being born into that family, but like I said, which was never their choice. And what I mean is I wouldn't like anyone to make a fucking Netflix series about my family. Off. So I do think, yeah, like I said, it's these are real people and they're still alive and they're watching this, and some of it is going to be
they're not watching.
Well, if you know what I mean, it's going to be dramatized, it's going to be misconstrued, it's going to be opinion led rather than fact led. I do led by what was reported in the media rather than what actually happened behind two closed doors. And then there's
I do love the idea of Queenie sat there. So like Gogglebox, there's Queenie and Phil, right? And they're sat there like with the remote. It's like, oh, go on, let's watch this old shite then. And she's there going like, fucking hell, whatever, you know, that kind of.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of that never happened. And the problem that I find with it is that a lot of people will be seeing it as a factual documentary, as a reconstruction, rather than a dramatized series based on originally real life events.
Yeah, I tended to do was sit there and Google things for factual to see did that actually happen, and I
think perhaps it's unfair to make those things when some of those people are still alive. They do.
Well, all of them really, aren't they? Well, most of them. Yeah. It must be very difficult, especially for someone like Charles, who's right bang in the middle of the series for a lot of it.
He doesn't come out well in it either.
No, he comes out as an absolute horror. But the thing is, the psychology and the explanation of how they've ended up like that because of the way the whole thing is structured, the family, and that history repeats itself. But it does that in all sorts of families, and that's what I found interesting. Is the same shit does go round. It's very difficult to break a pattern, and that's true throughout all families, I'm sure. So yeah, interesting. Cringy though. I found it quite cringy to watch for that.
I thought, for me, the first series was the most interesting one because that was the wartime stuff. And then I think now that it's getting more current, I'm definitely losing interest in it. And that is possibly because it's the whole Diana stuff. And I'm doing that. I don't remember it being like that.
Yeah, and I don't really appreciate having my opinions molded when I have memories of how it was, or how certainly we saw it, you know.
Yeah. They have had a lot of artistic license with it, and I just wonder what her sons would have made of it, because she doesn't come out of it particularly well either.
Yeah. I think when your mother died when you were small and you had to deal with that in the public eye, the last thing you really need is some bastard making a fucking television program about it. And adding bits in that suit the storyline and suit the narrative, you know, and writing scripts for conversations that happen behind closed doors that they can have absolutely no knowledge of what was actually said, you know.
Kind of like they're rewriting history because people will take that as, oh, well, that must have happened then. They'll just,
I know what happened to Diana because I saw The Crown. Yeah.
As long as people do actually realize that that this isn't factual. This is a dramatization of things that may possibly have happened, slightly based on elements of truth. And that's about it. That's about as close as it being true as you can get. But then say things like, say with Bridgerton, which is like completely fantastic and based on real people as well, isn't it? Now people were complaining that like, but they wouldn't have had so many like black people and Chinese people and stuff like that. It's like, but I like the fact that they've got a whole range of cast in it, because this is fictional. This is made as a drama. This isn't made to actually document the past.
Yeah, no, it's great fun.
You know, it's like, well, why not? Have like a mixed race queen. Like, why not?
Yeah,
let's make it fantastic. And I thought that was great. And mainly for the costume and the jewelry, but and the rather beautiful people in it. So
yes,
and lots of shagging.
There's a lot of that.
There's a lot of shagging in it. Yeah. So definitely put that on the list. So there. And if you haven't seen Queen's Gambit, best series of last year, like. For sure, absolutely. It's about chess, and then the lady that's in it that plays the main character, she's also in a remake of Emma. Is it Emma? Which I thought was awful, and I couldn't watch it to the end. But there we are.
I think I went to see that. Sorry, bear with.
You did go and see that, yes.
I was extremely annoyed that they put in his arse when there's absolutely no fucking way his arse would have appeared in any fucking storyline that Jane Austen ever fucking wrote. Completely gratuitous shot of Mr. Knightley's bottom.
Gratuitous arse? Well, I never.
Totally. purely for titillation of the audience, and I sound like some kind of real uptight prudish woman. But more to the point, if you're gonna make a Jane Austen, make a fucking Jane Austen. Don't make some kind of, there's absolutely no way that Jane Austen would have written in Mr. Knightley's fucking arse. And therefore you put that in purely to make people go, oh, you can see his bum. And I think we should all be a little bit more mature than to need to see his bum. Fucking sorry.
However, in Bridgerton, it's completely valid when you see people's like bums and titties and winkles.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine, because it's about shagging and it's great.
Yeah. I mean, it's not trying to hold the line to be factual or to be accountable or to be representative of anything. It's just a good old romp, really, and it's quite enjoyable. It is fluff, but it's fun.
Yeah, totally. Loved it. Really loved it. Yeah, take some more tablets. And I on Amazon Prime, I think it's on Amazon, I watched the other week the whole series of High Fidelity, which is like the book by Nick Hornby, but there was also the film which had John Cusack in it. This one is done as a TV series, and it's got Lenny Kravitz's daughter as the main role, as Rob, who runs the record shop, and I really enjoyed that. And I thought I wouldn't, because I absolutely loved the book when I was a teenager, and then I liked the film a lot, and I had Jack Black in it, and he was really funny. And then I didn't think I was going to like the series, but really enjoyed it. So that's another one. That's a nice bit of like kind of stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, it's finding nice things to watch, isn't it, really? I do tend to watch probably more YouTube now, though. I've taken to watching a lady called Dr. Laurie, and she's American. She's very American. She's very loud. She's very out there. But man, that woman knows everything about everything. Antiques. She's a professional appraiser and valuer.
Oh, I've seen her. Yeah.
And you kind of get like she sort of does this show, or has done this show, but she's doing things online, and the knowledge of that woman is extraordinary. I can't recommend her highly enough if you're interested in old stuff, you know, whether it's jewellery, pottery, glass, whatever. She really knows art and stuff. She really knows everything, and she's very keen to teach people how to find good stuff and sell it for good money. So yeah, I can't recommend her highly enough, because she is absolutely brilliant, and she's very entertaining as well.
I think she sometimes has popped into the side chat during Nick and Andrea's as well, I think.
Quite possibly, yeah. Quite possibly.
Oh, Joan, it was called High Fidelity. There we go. Yeah, I've never seen the Dr. Laurie, but I'll check it out. And yeah, Curiosity Inc. as well. And
yeah, wow, that house that they cleared out, Mrs. Rack's house. They had the auction yesterday for all of her stuff, and the rings were going for thousands, and wow.
Yeah, that's the dream, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then good old Crazy Lamp Lady, that's Josh's favourite.
Yes, I enjoy watching Gosling.
I went off her. She did my head in with too much of, this is wonderful, so I left it. This was great, so I didn't buy it. This I thought was really good, so I left it. I'm like, well, just can you fucking buy something? Can you just buy some of it? Because, you know, if it's all so fucking wonderful, why aren't you taking it home?
Yeah. It's the fact that in America and Canada and places like that, it's much more doable to have premises or a shop, because land is cheap and buildings are cheap, you know, everything's. Whereas over here, we're all squeezed into tiny little spaces trying to maximise our, you know, our storage, and yet they just, you know, oh, well, I've got this warehouse. It's like, holy, how do you do that? It's a different world.
Again, at the moment, it is just, I just want to go shopping with someone. I want to go like, oh, that one, get that one, you know.
Yeah, we will. Like I say,
yeah, I want one of those days where you and I go out and I go, this is fucking horrible, and you go, yeah, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That's the Carla test.
Yeah. Oh man, it'll happen.
Yeah.
In June. That's what I'm predicting.
By June, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Yeah, she's a little bit twee in her taste for me as well, Stephen.
It's got a bird on it.
Yeah, well, yes, there is that. And the more detailed, the more fussy it is, the better. Whereas I prefer something with a cleaner line. But yeah.
And then things like, you know, so she'll pick up, say, like carnival glass and stuff like that. And I'm like, it's not quite rare over there then, because like we see it in the charity shops all the time over here, you know.
Or Wedgwood, or if it's English, it somehow has a cachet. Whereas we're like, God, I see that stuff all the time and it sells for nothing.
Exactly. You know, whereas like, I don't know, if they ever, like, do they get Danish stuff there? You know, because we would go like, oh, Danish, and they might just go like, oh, that's just some bit of wood. You know, and we're like,
yeah. I think the sort of taste, if you like, for things is a bit different. I sometimes think that America are ahead of us in a lot of things, but in terms of home decor and stuff, they're actually kind of behind us. It's Europe that leads the way. So they're starting to get more into mid-century modern stuff, but they're not there yet. And when you see those amazing old houses, there's a Facebook group called Cheap Old Houses, and there's this huge Victorian wooden beautiful things, and they're going for like about $100,000, which is nothing compared to our house prices. I'm just like so jealous.
It's like when you watch the younger YouTubers, the younger American ones, they're probably 22, 23. They've got maybe a couple of kids and a husband, because that seems to be much more of a common thing there, is to get married and have children quite younger. And they're doing a house tour, and I'm like, your house is a mansion and you're 22 and your husband's 22. How the actual Jeffrey is this even possible, you know? Because
in certain areas property is a lot cheaper when you get outside the big cities. I mean, we all think of New York as being New York City, but of course New York as a state is vast, and the countryside, I mean, there's land is just there, you know. It's incredibly cheap and amazing.
I do have a question for Americans, any Americans that are watching. Do you have like a corner shop? Because whenever I watch, you know, any Americans when they go out shop, like they have to drive, and they have to drive for like, you know, they don't just pop over the road to go to shop. I assume, you know, do they have corner shops?
No. Depends where you are. If you live in the city of somewhere like San Francisco or a big city, then yes, you will have places you can pop coffee shops and things. If you live somewhere like Dallas, Fort Worth, you have to get in a car to drive to go and get a coffee, never mind. Nobody walks anywhere. I mean, they just don't. You just get in your car and head off to the big shopping estate and get stuff. I mean, yeah, weird.
See, at least in that way, I prefer like this, that I can walk into town and there's all the shops I need in town, although half of them are closed at the moment, obviously. So don't have to drive 40 minutes to like the nearest whatever, you know. We have small houses and we have gas stations, which are corners gas stations, yeah.
Like your petrol station.
My petrol station. It is my petrol station.
It's yours.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it just, whenever I watch, you know, like, oh yeah, we're going grocery shopping, and they'll be like the main strip, you know, so what I would consider as being not quite motorway, but, you know, and big shops on either side, and then, you know, there's the Taco Bell, and then there's the Walmart, and there's TJ Maxx and stuff, and it's all big and big. Imagine there being, other than in like New York and stuff, there being, you know, like the little, you know, Walmarts or whatever, little grocery shop, but I don't imagine there being, you know, or in The Simpsons. That's the only place where there's like a Quickie Mart where I think like that's similar, you know. So yeah, that's it. They only have big shop or little Quickie Mart in The Simpsons, and that's it.
But the size of their charity shops, though, I mean, they go to a Goodwill or a Savers. I mean, how much envy do we get when we see those? It's like, oh, I could spend all day in there.
When they say they're bringing out the bins and stuff, and they're literally bringing out like truckloads.
Oh,
new things.
I would so jealous.
But I would spend all day in there, and I would never get anything done because I would just be like, yeah, next bin, please. Ooh, rummage. Would just spend all day, and so much money. And when and their jewelry jars, like one day, that's what I'm gonna do when I go over there. Like, I just want to buy a jewel. I'll go into a charity shop, into Savers or whatever, and I go, can you just make me one? I don't care what I have to pay. I want a jewelry jar.
Yeah, because they can find some amazing things in there, and yet other times it can be really disappointing. And they have all those blue boxes from Goodwill or whatever, you know, that they order online, and sometimes they're extraordinarily amazing, and other times they're just full of absolute shit. It's very hit and miss. Matt.
Hiya. Hello. Yeah, because I was watching Margaret, obviously, and she'll have, you know, one where it's like, yeah, I can make like, you know, $500 profit from this, and then another one where it's like, oh, I've just got a box of beads, and this is completely like,
yeah,
I can't even sell this on as, you know, what I paid for it.
And what they're categorized as, where they're meant, because they seem to have different grades of things, but it seems to make no difference to the contents at all, as far as I can tell. You know, they could pay like $80 for something and get nothing out of it. I'm like, that's a hell of a gamble. I'm not sure I'd be able to do that.
Yeah. And then I was watching Princess Casserole's one yesterday, and she paid $19.99 for one, and then there was a 10-carat gold necklace in there. Oh.
Wow. I haven't seen that one yet. I like watching those ladies. But yeah, so long as we're not singing the Sassy Tassel songs, I have to fast forward.
Yeah.
Bless.
Joan, no, I haven't been to that one because Newport Road, it's kind of one that you have to drive to, isn't it? So I've never actually been to that one.
Well, when I come over, I'll take you there.
Yay! I think it's actually on the way to that the warehouse as well. I'm sure it's maybe in the same kind of direction.
There's a summer trip coming on, a summer road trip.
Yeah, sure. I do watch some dumpster dives, like Breathcast. She does a lot of like dumpster diving stuff. And Stephen still sometimes do dumpster diving, don't they?
See them occasionally, but again, we don't have that sort of thing here. So I find it interesting, but kind of like, yeah, but yeah.
It's illegal here, isn't it? Dumpster diving. You're not allowed to.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I've checked, Norma. There isn't anything the same. And I really don't need the doctor. People are saying in the gym, I really don't need the doctor, especially not on a Sunday morning when there isn't one.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same as I had it before, and it will get better.
It will pass.
Don't know what it is, but it will go away.
Will literally pass. We hope.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think I wanna go make my breakfast now. That's okay.
Yeah, I had mine on stream. I'm sure it's not gallstones, by the way. People have had a look, and the pain is in the completely wrong place for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Oh,
Yeah, we were talking about that
it.
this morning because my sister had gallstones. And yeah, but describing is like different.
Aid's massaging other ladies. Well, one specific other lady. Aid has a personal massage contract in place at the moment.
Massage is probably not what you need right now, anyway.
But no, I'm sure it's not gallbladder or whatever, because the pain is in completely the wrong place for that. Thank you, Donna. Cheers.
I've got sausages too, Sue.
Oh, nice. I missed breakfast somehow. I seem to miss breakfast. There we go.
I always have brunch on a Sunday, and then well, not really having Sunday dinner today because it's whatever we can find in the fridge.
I've got Marks and Spencer's chicken Kievs with mashed potato for supper tonight. No, well, hubby's cooking that, so
Nice.
result.
Very nice. Yay. Might make some jelly.
Ooh.
Jelly.
Everyone's wishing you well, Carla.
Thank you. Much appreciated. I'm all right, honestly. It's just a griping pain. I'm not about to collapse or anything. It's just, it feels like labour pains. For those of you who have given birth, it feels like contractions.
Which it literally is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I shall send some healing vibes to you after this.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, eventually, Claire, it will. Yeah, but at the moment, nothing is transpiring, shall we say?
Yeah.
I must admit, if I go to the doctor and they say, "Oh, well, you know, this is you're just going to have this now that you eat different," in that case, I'm going back to the fucking cake, mate.
You might need some magic fruit, as my son used to call it, dried apricots.
I had 4 of them this morning, first thing.
Okay,
I can't stand them. I literally chew them like some kind of poison. I'm like, But yeah, I had 4 of them first thing this morning. It's not appendix, Donna. It's in the wrong place for appendix. It's yeah, Kirsten. I might message you later and compare and see. Yeah, but like I said, it's 7 weeks since the last time I had any trouble, and I just felt like if it was IBS, it would be more frequent.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, I can't stand kiwi, Elaine. I think it's awful. Cooked apple is a possibility. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say the sugar-free sweets will flush.
I've got
saying, is she in? Oh, lovely. Kaza, the Slim Along with Kaza one.
I don't think she's in yet this morning, no.
Well, she was saying that she, you know, the sugar-free sweets, she's like, oh, she doesn't get a reaction from them. She can eat the whole bag. If I ate the whole bag, I would be sat on that toilet for a week. I'm not kidding. I can have like 2 of them and I'll be like, oh, yeah. no more. She eat the whole lot. It's like, not a chance. Like my insides would fall out if I did that.
I did mean to look for mint oil capsules last time, Joan, and I think I completely forgot that. I should write it down. Write things down, Carla. There we go. I've written that down. Thought I was going to sneeze. Maybe I'm not going to sneeze.
Maybe sneezing would help, and then and if you like hold it.
No, sneezing hurts.
Yeah, but if you hold it, it might just pop out.
Don't want it to pop out in me loungewear, thank you. Definitely not sleepwalking to the fridge in the night, Chris Tyler. Definitely not.
Yeah, I can't be bothered for that. That sounds
you
like
can't sleepwalk in a house with 3 dogs.
No.
Susan, I'll make you a video. I'll live stream it just to you if you like. Yeah.
That's a private one, that is.
So weird. Susan's so weird. You want all these pictures of my feet and stuff, and like, oh, she's bizarre girl. I don't know.
Many suggestions and recipes there.
Yeah, star jumps are a good fart.
Yeah, I think go and lie down with a hot water bottle and rest. Yeah. Let nature take its course.
Tracy, I don't come on anymore, so it's very difficult to yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. Thank God. That's one thing you don't have to put up with anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm all right. I'm not dying. Sorry for those of you who are going, oh.
Yeah, Tattle right now going like, oh shit. Oh no, she's not dying.
No, she's not dying, damn it. I'm all right. I'm going back to bed. Thank you to the 282 people who are now watching and thinking about my bowels. I'm so glad that that's how this is ending.
Carla will update you later on whether she has.
Carla will not update you later, and there will be no pictorial evidence either before Lexx starts making promises that I have no intention of fulfilling. Thank you to the 282 of you who are watching. Remember to hit the like button or the dislike button or any button you can find, to be honest. If you're not already subscribed, you could consider subscribing. It's not always like this. Thank you to Heather for being a star and joining us this morning so that Lexx wasn't left on her own while I disappeared. And thank you to Lexx, as always, for being my sideshow Bob.
If you like, my hair's just as weird and my feet just as big. Kirsten is saying she wants a thumbs up your bowels.
No, that's not what Kirsten is saying. She very much misread that.
That's what she said.
Bad Wolf, you need to get out more.
I know, right?
Right. Thank you. Oh, and just before we go, thank you to everyone who has used the Ko-fi thing. I am putting a thank you, but I don't know if you get a message that I thanked you. So just in case, thank you. That's all I have to say on the subject. And I will Waffle Tuesday. Am I Still Fat Thursday? Has my arse exploded next Sunday? Looking forward to that. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Have a lovely Sunday and a great week. Take care. Bye.